the latest military news update. This is AFP Community News, hosted by Rofh Suzon every 12 noon, Mondays to Fridays. Only here on DWDD Armed Forces Radio. One AFP for a stronger Philippines.
Second ID seizes MPA weapons after clash in Camarines Sur. Allied Navy strengthened interoperability in ongoing exercise Sama-Sama 2025. DepEd suspends face-to-face classes in NCR due to the increase in influenza-like illnesses. COMELEC to start BSKE ballot printing today.
Hello to everyone, especially to our troops at Camp Emilio Ginaldo in Quezon City. Today is Monday, October 13, and this is AFP Committee News, your source for the updates on the armed forces and other developments across the country. I am Rofh Suzon-Abay here to bring you today's stories.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
For the brief overview of our news, the 2nd Infantry Division seized several firearms and explosives from New People's Army terrorists after an encounter in Ragay, Camarines Sur. Troops of the 16th and 31st Infantry Battalions acted on reports from residents about the presence of armed men in Barangay Salvacion and resulting in a 5-minute firefight. No government casualties were reported, while losses on the enemy side are still being verified. The recovery of weapons and materials dealt another blow to the dwindling NPA presence in the province as the army continues to push for lasting peace and development.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
Naval forces under the Western Naval Command showcased strong coordination and interoperability during advanced maritime drills across its area of operations in exercise Sama-Sama 2025. Led by NTG 44.1, composed of Philippine, United States, and Canadian naval ships and air assets. The group executed complex exercises to enhance combined fleet operations and tactical readiness. The drills included replenishment at sea approaches, air defense, and anti-submarine exercises to strengthen joint maritime capabilities. The successful operations highlighted WESCOM's vital role in regional security and the Philippine Navy's commitment to allied cooperation in the Indo-Pacific.
Armed Forces Radio.
Let us hear from Meljoy of 1st Year G about tree planting activity marks 28th IPRA commemoration in Isabela.
Yes, Rofh, in celebration of the 28th Indigenous Peoples' Rights Act commemoration and the Indigenous Peoples Month, a tree planting activity was successfully conducted at Sitio Agal, Barangay Casala, San Mariano, Isabela. The activity was spearheaded by Miss Divine Lingan Acoba of National Commission on Indigenous Peoples San Mariano in partnership with the local government unit of San Mariano. Present in the activity were Municipal Environmental and Natural Resources Officer Darwin Bulusan of San Mariano, the 95th Infantry Selakni Battalion, the Agta Community of Barangay San Jose, the National Commission on Indigenous People Isabela Provincial Office led by Miss Anne-Marie C. Sugiao, and the San Mariano Civil Service Commission. A total of 200 starfruit seedlings were planted courtesy of the local government unit San Mariano through Municipal Environmental and Natural Resources Office. According to Miss Lingan, the activity serves as a meaningful way to celebrate Indigenous Peoples' Rights Act Month by fostering environmental awareness and showing respect for the rights of indigenous peoples, not only in San Mariano but throughout the country. This is Meljoy Nasho Arroco reporting for AFP Community News, one AFP for stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Meljoy of 1st Year G.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
The 10th Infantry Division immediately launched large-scale disaster response operations following the strong earthquake that struck Davao region and parts of eastern Mindanao. The division activated its humanitarian assistance and disaster response protocols and deployed troops to support rescue and relief efforts in the hardest hit areas. Key commanders, in coordination with the Office of Civil Defense Region 11, conducted an aerial rapid damage and needs assessment to evaluate the extent of the destruction. The Agila Division continues to work with local authorities to ensure timely aid delivery and reinforce the safety and recovery of affected communities.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
The Philippine Army arrested a Dawla Islamiyah Hassan Group member involved in the killing of an indigenous leader during a joint military operations in Barangay Tucanalugog, Datu Abdullah, Sangki, Maguindanao del Sur. The suspect, known as alias Tagal, was apprehended by troops of the 19th Infantry Battalion with support from the 65th Infantry Battalion and 601st Infantry Brigade. Seized from the suspect were a caliber .45 pistol, 4 rounds of ammunition, and a cell phone used in group's illegal activities. Military officials vowed to continue operations against the remaining members of Dawla Islamiyah to ensure justice and lasting peace in affected communities.
Armed Forces Radio.
And from NOLCOM, let's hear some information from Joanne about Gears Up for Philippine-US exercise, or the 5th ID Gears Up for Philippine-US exercise sa Laknif 2026 through staff training.
The 5th Infantry Star Division successfully concluded its 5-day unilateral staff exercise on October 10, 2025. The activity was held as part of the division's preparation for the PH-US Combined Exercise Salaknib 2026. The week-long exercise aimed to train and prepare division-level staff in planning, coordination, and execution of large-scale joint and combined operations involving the Philippines and its allied forces. It also enhanced interoperability in planning processes, staff synchronization, and command post operations. Major General Efren F. Morados, Vice Commander of the Philippine Army, served as guest of honor during the closing ceremony. In his message, he commended the 5th ID leadership and personnel for their professionalism and dedication in ensuring the division's readiness for future joint and combined missions. Through this exercise, 5th ID continues to strengthen its operational capability and partnership with allied forces, reaffirming its commitment to readiness, discipline, and excellence. This is John Sagao reporting for AFP Community News 1, AFP for Stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Joanne from NOLCOM.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
The Philippine Air Force and Japan Air Self-Defense Force officially concluded the exercise Doshin Bayanihan 525 with a closing ceremony at Brigadier General Benito Ebuen Air Base, Lapu-Lapu City, Cebu. The exercise strengthened both nations' humanitarian assistance and disaster relief capabilities through bilateral air operations and medical response drills. Participants conducted C-130 flight operations, airdrops, onload or offload procedures, and mass casualty simulations to enhance coordination and interoperability. The joint exercise reaffirmed the Philippines and Japan's enduring partnership in promoting regional security and humanitarian cooperation in the Asia-Pacific.
DWDD National News.
For our national news, face-to-face classes in public schools in Metro Manila are suspended from October 13 to 14. This is due to the increase in influenza-like illnesses among students and school staff. According to the Department of Education, National Capital Region, schools shall implement alternative delivery modalities to avoid disruption of learning during this period. DepEd also cited the series of earthquakes that have occurred all over the country. In those 2 days, public schools were ordered to disinfect, sanitize, and inspect their buildings and facilities.
Armed Forces Radio.
From PAFC, let us hear from Sean about Philippine Air Force supports aerial inspection over Davao region following the magnitude 7.6 earthquake.
The Philippine Air Force joined interagency teams in conducting aerial assessment over Davao Region and Caraga following the magnitude 7.6 earthquake that struck Manay, Davao Oriental. On October 10 and 11, the PAF deployed its S-70I Black Hawk helicopters to assist the Office of the Civil Defense Region 11, the Philippine Army, and local government units in surveying the affected areas. A similar inspection was also carried out in Agusan del Sur with the Caraga Regional Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Council, DWDD, and other partners. These joint efforts aim to assess the extent of the damage and guide relief and recovery operations. The Philippine Air Force reaffirms its commitment to provide timely, coordinated, and effective humanitarian assistance to community in need. This is Shan Berganyo reporting for AFP Community News, one AFP for a stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Sean, from Popsimo.
DWDD National News.
The printing of more than 90 million official ballots for the Barangay and Sangguniang Kabatan elections next year is set to begin today. Commission on Elections Chairperson George Garcia said the National Printing Office would start the printing of about 69 million official ballots for the barangay polls and another 23 million for the youth elections. He said it is the first time in the history of COMELEC and NPO that they will print more than 90 million ballots, adding that needed ballots could even reach 95 million, as the poll body will conduct voter registration starting this month until next year. The COMELEC chair also explained that they agreed to start the printing this early because of the huge number of ballots and other accountable forms that need to be printed.
DWDD National News.
Senator Francis Pangilinan called on the administration to issue an executive order to establish a floor price for palay. He said this measure would apply to all government purchases and align with the full implementation of the Sagip-Saka Act. Pangilinan explained when palay is being bought at only 8 to 10 pesos per kilo, where it costs farmer 14 to 15 pesos to produce it, no amount of aid will make up for their losses. The senator also insists the country's farmers don't need charity, but a fair price for the fruits of their labor. Pangilinan is the chairperson of the Senate Committee on Agriculture, Food and Agrarian Reform.
Armed Forces Radio.
And some information from Marian about AFP denies false claims on alleged 15 billion peso ghost projects.
The Armed Forces of the Philippines has strongly denied and condemned false online allegations about supposed 15 billion military ghost projects from 2023 to 2025. The AFP clarified that it does not handle or receive funds for infrastructure projects, as all military facilities under the Tatag ng Infrastruktura para sa Kapayapaan at Seguridad or TICAS program are fully funded and implemented by the Department of Public Works and Highways. The military emphasized that each construction phase follows proper budgeting and auditing procedures, dismissing the accusations as a gross misrepresentation of government processes. The AFP reaffirmed its commitment to transparency and accountability and urged the public to avoid spreading misinformation that undermines public trust. This is Marian reporting for AFP Community News, one AFP for a stronger Philippines.
Thank you so much, Marian.
DWDD National News.
For other national news, the United States has provided aid to the residents affected by the recent magnitude 7.4 and 6.8 earthquakes in Manay, Davao Oriental. This includes over 137,000 family food packs and 500 emergency shelter kits. U.S. Ambassador to the Philippines Mary Kay Carlson said they are coordinating with the Department of Social Welfare and Development to assess additional needs in Davao Oriental. Carlson also expressed sympathy to those affected by the Mindanao earthquake and recent natural disasters.
DWDD National News.
The number of aftershocks that followed the magnitude 7.4 and magnitude 6.8 doublet earthquakes in Davao Oriental last Friday have reached more than 1,000. The Philippine Institute of Volcanology and Seismology recorded a total of 1,111 aftershocks. Of this number, 511 were plotted while 14 were felt. FIVOX added the aftershocks had magnitude ranging from 1.2 to 5.8.
Armed Forces Radio.
From our report on the ground, let us hear the report of MJ about Philippine Air Force relaunches museum to preserve military heritage. Go ahead, MJ.
The Philippine Air Force officially relaunched its museum at Colonel Jesus Villamor Air Base, Pasay City. The said activity was led by Armed Forces of the Philippines Chief of Staff General Romeo Browner Jr. and Commanding General Philippine Air Force Lieutenant General Arthur Cordura. A highlight of the museum is the Unmanned Aircraft System Flight Simulator and displays chronicling key military operations throughout history. The revamped museum, organized by the Office of the Chief Historical and Cultural Activities, features historical aircraft, weapons, vehicles, uniforms, and artifacts that showcase the Air Force evolution and achievements. This is MJ reporting for AFP Community News, one AFP for a stronger Philippines.
Thank you, MJ.
DWDD National News.
On the other hand, Social Welfare Development Secretary Rex Gatchalian has assured quake victims in the provinces of Cebu and Davao Oriental of swift delivery of assistance. Gatchalian said the Department of Social Welfare and Development has more than 100,000 boxes of family food packs repositioned in various warehouses in Davao region. These food packs can be distributed immediately by the DSWD Field Office Davao Region to quake-hit families. The Secretary also said that the DSWD is attending to the psychosocial needs of quake victims, many of whom are showing signs of trauma and fatigue.
DWDD National News.
The Department of Human Settlements and Urban Development has sent modular shelter units or MSUs for the families that lost their homes to the powerful quake that hit the province of Cebu last September 30. DHSUD Secretary Jose Ramon Aliling said the MSUs were also provided to the families who are still too scared to go back to their communities due to trauma. Aliling hopes that the modular shelter units would ease the burden of the quake victims and they would feel comfortable there. The DHSUD chief assured that the same MSUs will also be provided to the families displaced by the magnitude 7.4 quake that jolted Davao Oriental last October 10.
Armed Forces Radio.
On the other line, let's hear more from Kath about AFP Reserve Force celebrates HRT month, promotes patriotism through tourism.
Yes, Rofh, good noon. The Armed Forces of the Philippines Reserve Force joined the celebration of the 80th Hotel Restaurant and Tourism Month through the event of series of waves showcasing service tribute to tourism held at the Baguio Country Club. With the theme Service, Skills and Energy, Bridging Tourism and Patriotism with the AFP Reserve Force, the activity showcased interactive exhibits from the Philippine Army, Air Force, and Navy to highlight the military's contribution to nation building and patriotism. Visitors explored displays promoting awareness of the AFP's advocacy in protecting the West Philippine Sea. The AFP Reserve Force also paid tribute to those serving the nation and encouraged Filipinos to celebrate tourism with pride and national spirit. This is Kat reporting for AFP Community News, one AFP for a stronger Philippines.
Thank you so much, Kath.
DWDD National News.
Meanwhile, the Public Attorney's Office has sent 8 of its lawyers to the Independent Commission for Infrastructure to help fast-track its investigation on flood control anomalies. PAO Chief Presida Rueda Acosta said the move is a response to the call of ICI Chairperson Andres Reyes Jr. since PAO recognizes the urgency and importance of the ICI's mandate to promote transparency, accountability, and integrity in infrastructure development. The PAO team will be led by Nazario Bancoro Jr. He will be joined by Demeter Huerta as Assistant Team Leader and Jose Noel Hilario, Marlo Doms Tajon, John Carlo Lopez, Jeffrey Hilario, Lourdes Sorreta, and Jamor Tremor as members. Deputy Chief Public Attorney Annalisa Soriano said the PAO lawyers will work at ICI from Tuesday to Friday each week for 6 months starting tomorrow, October 14.
DWDD National News.
The Philippine National Police has intensified its campaign against syndicates behind the large-scale sale of pre-registered SIM cards allegedly linked to online scams. Acting PNP Chief Lieutenant General Jose Malencio Nartatis Jr. said the move is in line with President Marcos's directive through Interior Secretary John Vic Remulla to strengthen the enforcement of the SIM Registration Act and dismantle criminal networks exploiting digital systems for fraudulent activities. Nartatis said they have intensified intelligence monitoring, surveillance, and entrapment operations targeting people and groups facilitating the registration and distribution of fraudulent SIM cards. He added that the PNP Anti-Cybercrime Group is conducting forensic examinations on seized mobile devices and SIM cards recovered from scam hubs to trace their sources.
Armed Forces Radio.
Let us hear updates from Ferdy about Westmincom brings Bayanihan services to isolated island community in Zamboanga City.
Good day everyone. Residents of Barangay Tumalutab, one of Zamboanga City's geographically isolated and disadvantaged areas, benefited from an all-in-one Bayanihan mission led by GoShare with support from the Western Mindanao Command. The activity provided medical, dental, and welfare services along with fun learning activities and feeding programs for children. Organized in partnership with the local government and private volunteers, the mission aimed to deliver essential services and foster community empowerment. Brigadier General Romulo Cremado II, acting commander of Westmincom, lauded the initiative as a true reflection of unity and public service, bringing government support closer to remote communities. This is Ferdy Blues reporting for AFP Community News, one AFP for a stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Ferdy.
Armed Forces Radio.
And more updates from Leonor. AFP opens SRDP Defense Industry Forum to strengthen local defense capabilities.
The Armed Forces of the Philippines through the AFP Systems Engineering and Modernization Office and in partnership with the Department of National Defense, Defense Technology and Research Industry formally opened the Self-Aligned Defense Posture Defense Industry Forum. Representing AFP Chief of Staff General Romeo Browner Jr., AFP Vice Chief of Staff Lieutenant General Jimmy Larida emphasized the importance of collaboration between the military, government, and private industry in bolstering national defense. The two-day event gathers defense stakeholders to discuss innovation, capability building, and investment opportunities under the SRDP program. The forum aims to strengthen the country's self-sustaining defense industry and advance technological readiness for national security. This is Leonor Tanap reporting for AFP Community News, one FP for Stronger Philippines.
Thank you, Leonor.
DWDD National News.
PHIVOC said the Bulusan volcano in Sorsogon has shown signs of increased seismic activity. 72 volcanic earthquakes were recorded by the Bulusan volcano network from 12 a.m. last Saturday, October 11. The agency said these volcano tectonic earthquakes are associated with rock fracturing and are occurring at depths less than 10 kilometers beneath the northern sector of the volcano. The volcano has also been degassing from its active vents. The agency said Bulusan volcano is under alert level 1 or low-level unrest.
DWDD Armed Forces News.
That concludes today's broadcast, and thank you for tuning in, especially to our audience on AFP Radio, the DWDD's Facebook page. Be sure to join and catch us again tomorrow for more stories and updates, same time and same station. Once again, this is Rofh Suzon-Abay for AFP Community News, one AFP for a stronger Philippines.
Behold the latest military news update. This is AFP Community News, hosted by Rofh Suzon every 12 noon, Mondays to Fridays. Only here on DWDD Armed Forces Radio. One AFP for a stronger Philippines.
Ito ang DWDD 1134 kHz AM. Balita, impormasyon at musika. Ito ang DWDD AFP Radio. Boses ng Kawal Pilipino.
Kayo ay nakatutok sa DWDD AFP Radio. Kami po ay kasapi ng KBP, Kapisanan ng mga Broadcaster ng Pilipinas.